Live across North Texas and beyond, this is the Jenna Ryan Show.
Ain't that America? You and me. Ain't that America? Little pink houses for you.
Jenna Ryan is a world-renowned speaker and thought leader, ranked in the 87th most influential person online by Fast Company magazine. Jenna Ryan has spoken to thousands around the world and is now speaking to you. So with all things real estate and beyond, here is Jenna Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show. I'm so glad you're here today. It's such a beautiful day. Thank God we have a little bit of good weather here in November. It's a miracle. It's amazing. We've got some wonderful weather here in November. It feels so wonderful. I got a new puppy. It's the perfect time to potty train because it's beautiful outside. And we've been spending a ton of time outside. I got the cutest golden poodle you have ever seen in your life, and it's like my baby, and it has saved my life, and I'm so happy. Welcome to the show today. I am Jenna Ryan, and I am a real estate broker. My brokerage is Jenna Ryan Realty Group, and I am selling houses like a banshee. And I am hiring agents. If you are looking for a place to grow your own self and become an amazing realtor, join me. Give me a call. And anytime, you can call me at 972-510-9177. I am here today with one of my very special friends. She's a great friend. Like, we really love each other. Her name is Stacey, and Stacey Cleveland. And she is the person who is responsible. Hi, Stacey. Say hi.
Hi, Jenna. Oh, hi, guys.
She is like a social media queen of social media, and she is also a photographer, and she's also my photographer, and she did my headshot, and that's a story we're going to go into here in a little bit. We also have Mark Raskin here with us today. Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Doing great.
Okay, wonderful. Good to have you. Move that thing right there, and all hands on deck. Okay? All right, so we're here today, and Mark Raskin is with Prime Lending, and we're going to be talking today about Proposition 2. So we're going to bring you a little fun and a little bit of business all at one time. You're going to become informed. Everybody here is going to learn something today because that's what my show is all about. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be pretty. We're going to learn about being pretty, and we're going to learn about business, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope you are ready today. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is Stacey. So tell us about, here, pull up a little bit.
Okay, I don't have any room.
Squeeze in.
I don't want to get too close.
I get close. Okay, so you went to Margarita Ball last night.
Yes.
Wow, how was
I
that?
thought you would be there.
I have a show in the morning, and I know if I go out, I will not come home, and I will be out all night. So I was like, nope, not going. But you went. You looked beautiful. I saw your photos. They looked great. So what was it like? What was wonderful about it?
I go every year. It's a tradition that I do with my friends. It's a benefit for children. You have to take a gift in order to get in.
Okay.
So I take a girl gift every year, and so it's fun to shop prior to going, and then it's good to give, and then it's good just to network while you're there and see like some familiar faces and people in the my clients and friends and just.
Stacey, I just think the world of you. Did you know that?
No,
I don't want you to move because you're perfectly in the shot here.
Okay,
if you want to, if anybody
fidgety.
wants to watch us, we're at Jenna.Ryan1 on Facebook. And let me just tell you, this girl is the sweetest girl. She's a selfie queen. She's knocking me on the head. She's the sweetest girl. She's just really has a good heart and wouldn't hurt a flea. And there's a lot of bees in this city. And in Dallas, there really are, beautiful people that are just not very nice, that are not very kind, that you don't really want to know. Stacey is not one of those people. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body. And, I really like people that are kind and real and sincere. And that's one of the reasons we're so drawn to each other is I think I'm that way, too.
You are that way.
Okay. So anyway, Stacey, let me tell you. So I needed headshots, and I needed them bad. I hate getting headshots done because you have to be all prepared. And so I needed them. And so I texted her and I said, Stacey, I need headshots. I need a white background so that I can have some formal headshots. And she's like, oh, I don't do those. She goes, I do outdoor only. And I go, okay, forget you. Yeah, I did. I was next.
I was like, what?
Next, now I need a white stark background because I need to be able to cut it out and put it on my postcards. And so Stacey is not going to force you to use her. She's just not that way. She's not going to force you to use her. But if you're smart, you're going to use her. Because let me tell you what happened then. So then I went and found a photographer to do my headshots. And you guys don't understand how much it takes for me to get it together to do a headshot. Okay, you have to have clothes. You have to have... I have to have my hair done in 45 ways, makeup right, everything you don't understand. And so finally I got all that done, but then I wore the wrong outfit and I had this headshot done. And I didn't like it, so I booked again. And then I've got the right outfit. I got my hair professionally done. I got my makeup professionally done. I got everything professionally done. And then the guy canceled on me. His name's Steve Bither. And he canceled. He canceled on me. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just had this outfit delivered and it made it by Thursday. Made it by Wednesday. I was like, what? And that day I had just gotten all my makeup done. I just got my hair done. I had spent over a lot of money. And I was like, Stacey, I need you. And Stacey was like,
where do I go?
I'll be there. And we find out she lives 5 minutes away from me. And she gets there, and she's wearing these little cutie pie little shorts. And I'm like, okay. Stop. She looks adorable. Stop. And she's taking my photo. And she just took, I don't have time for this. So she just took a couple photos in front of my home, and they turned out so much better than the stark shots of the other guy did that I don't like anymore. I like him, but I don't like that. Anyway, so Stacey, tell me how did you get that great photo? How did you do that?
Well, it wasn't all me.
Yes, it
you
was.
You took part in that too.
Well, I was all ready, but so first of all, okay, I'll just tell you. So she's like, we got to have light. So we're walking around.
You have to have natural light. You can't manipulate it. You can't pretend. Natural light is natural light. So we have to stay within the elements. So we have to shoot outdoors.
So we had to shoot outdoors. So we went outdoors, and she's like, wait, have a beer.
Relax.
She's like, have a beer.
So nervous.
I was like, I've got to get these done. My hair. Oh my God. And she's like, just have a beer and wait until the light gets just right. So we had a beer and we waited for the light about 6:30, I think it was. That was before daylight savings time, which was last night. I hate that. But anyway, so then we're walking around and she's got this eye and she's just like, you can just tell she's zooming right into the perfect light. And then we get somewhere and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to look okay. I just didn't, you don't always feel your best, especially when you're taking photos. It feels a little uncomfortable. But she made me feel so comfortable. She was like, you're beautiful. Look at you. You look like a model. And, she knows how to say the right things, but it wasn't like fake. It wasn't like fake. It was like, oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. I guess, part of me does. My face might be able to pull out a model, but the rest of me, I don't know. Anyway, so then we took the photos and then she got them to me right away. And what do you charge for that headshot process?
Just one flat rate of $250.
$250
for everything.
And then we went out and had a great time. Okay, so you like doing photography for like families?
I like doing photography for all things.
You like doing all things. So you do seniors?
So I'm lifestyle. That means I'm not limited. I don't want to be limited. That means I shoot anything and all things. Pets, automobiles, real estate, families, events, children, babies.
Children.
Engagement, weddings, bridals.
Product.
Yes,
brides.
Product.
You just have the eye to be able to capture the right angle of a person, place, or thing. And I think that you would be wise if you're looking for a photographer to contact Stacey. And the way you can contact her, I recommend you just go into her Facebook because there's photos everywhere and you can see her work right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and my link to my website is on there as well. And
your link to your website is on there. Mm-hmm. And so with your... And what's your phone number?
I can be reached at 469-831-7126.
Awesome. We got to go out soon. Where are we going to go?
Anywhere you want to go, girl.
I know. Remember that time we went down to, it was like a Thursday night, and we went down to, we couldn't get an Uber. We couldn't get an Uber. So we were like frustrated. So I drove, and I just had to be, so we went downtown, and then we went to, What was that restaurant? I have information overload. I
Oh,
forget.
Gosh, we go so many places.
Del Frisco's Grill. We went to Del Frisco's Grill and we had amazing food. And she's like
my God.
size 0, and she was like shoveling
I was
this amazing
starving.
food down. Oh my gosh! And then we went to the Ritz and we
Yes.
danced our butts off. I mean, danced. Wait, we didn't dance.
No, we didn't.
We met a bunch of men.
No, we didn't.
I met a man.
You did.
I met him. She didn't mean it. She was like, "Get me out of here." She's like, "I want to go to Sambuca." I was like, "No, I don't like Sambuca. I like the Ritz." And there's a lot of
so funny.
prostitutes
We
at the
didn't
Ritz. There was like a prostitute for every patron at the Ritz.
Talk about anything.
I do talk about anything. So there was
Ooh,
a lot.
no filter. No
There was
filter.
a lot of prostitutes at the Ritz if you go there, but you just kind of have to weasel in and out of the prostitutes, and you know. And then after that, we went to that place behind the kit. We went to some place,
Yeah, where?
which it didn't have a name on the front, and we had that Capri salad pizza. Remember that pizza?
Where were we?
It's on my Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
The name of it's on my Instagram. It was this pizza, and it was like
It was so good.
mind. Like at the end of the night, we just sat there, and some men bought us some pizza. I've never had such delicious pizza in my life, and I had the best time with
about
you, girl.
pizza.
Okay,
We always have a good time.
we always do. Okay, we've got to go on a break. We will talk to you just in just a minute.
Okay, awesome.
Hey everybody, are you ready for the hottest show in radio? The Nicole Barrett Show, every Saturday at 3 p.m. Hot topics, legendary stars, and politics. It's the Nicole Barrett Show, every Saturday, 3 p.m. on Talk Radio 1190 AM.
Walgreens has good news for everyone who uses Medicare Part B for diabetes testing supplies. We've got your back, or in this case, your test strips. Walgreens accepts Medicare assignment and full coverage supplemental insurance, so you'll pay as low as $0 out of pocket, which is the same as mail order. Pick up the medications you rely on and save on all major brands like One Touch and Walgreens True Metrics. That's not just good news, it's great news. Talk to your Walgreens pharmacist today. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home, safe home.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the TJ Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
You did it. Woo! Welcome back. Welcome back to my show. That happens to be my very favorite song of all times. And I was a little nervous. I picked it out while I was drinking wine the other day. Anyway, I'm Jenna Ryan, and I am a broker. I'm a real estate broker here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm here today with my special guest, Mark Raskin. Mark is the branch manager and loan officer at Prime Lending. Right?
I am.
Welcome, Mark.
Glad to be on the show. Thank you.
Okay. Well, so you are a mortgage officer over at Prime Lending in North Dallas.
Correct.
And you are here to talk to us about something today. And what would that be?
Here to talk to you all about Proposition 2.
Proposition 2. What is Proposition 2?
Proposition 2 is one of the things that everybody gets to go vote on this coming Tuesday. It's one of 7 constitutional amendment proposed changes, and it involves basically home equity lending in the state of Texas.
Okay. Home equity lending in the state of Texas. That is very interesting. So basically, you were telling me on the phone that with home equity lending, there was a lot of restrictions in the past of what people were allowed to get equity for.
Correct. Home equity lending in Texas has only been around for 20 years based off of a constitutional amendment back in 97 that passed. And basically with Prop 2 passing, we give homeowners and consumers more options and more choices without removing the protections that were put in place 20 years ago. And
Okay, so let's say I want to get an equity loan on my home. Okay, so what am I limited to now?
so right now, and this will continue in place after Prop 2 hopefully passes on Tuesday, you are capped out at 80% of the value of your home.
Okay.
And so if your home, let's say, is worth $200,000, the most you can borrow is $160,000 against it.
Okay. So the most you can borrow is $160,000. What will the Proposition 2 do?
So that stays in place, that 80% cap to protect consumers and homeowners.
Okay.
But some of the changes that will come out of Proposition 2 is, for instance, right now, the way the fee structures are in place, it's impossible for a lender to loan you less than about $110,000 to $120,000. So if we have homeowners that want to borrow against their equity, pay for a college education or what have you, and they only want to borrow $60,000 or $80,000, a lender can't do it because of limitations in the constitutional amendment. So so this changes the fee structure, actually lowers the fees that lenders can charge, but it pulls out some of the ones that lenders don't control, like appraisal and title, so that lenders can get down into the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 range for those consumers that don't need as much money out of their homes.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, so so everybody go vote for Proposition 2. Where do people vote?
Wherever their polling station is, now that early voting ended this past Friday, so just wherever their polling station is, typically their libraries around their houses.
Okay, so find out where your voting station is right now and go vote on Tuesday for Proposition 2. Is it okay to vote early right now?
The early voting is over, but please go vote yes for Prop 2.
Okay. Okay, just a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and now we're going to talk about, okay, so tell me what sets you apart. You are a lender, and I have not used you yet. So I do plan to use you as a lender. I really want to know what sets you apart from the pack.
Basically, I have surrounded myself with experts with our team that help deliver unparalleled service to your clients, our clients, throughout the whole process.
Okay.
We're very big on doing what we say we'll do, closing on time, maintaining communication and integrity throughout the process and beyond.
Okay.
So service is just very, very important to everybody on the team.
Okay, so let me tell you some important things to me when it comes to a lender.
Okay.
What I'm looking for is someone who will close on time, right? That's a given.
That is a given.
You have to have that. I'm also looking for someone who is really good at communication. I want someone who not only will communicate with me about the people, but will also not be afraid or hesitant to communicate the negative, bad news, because things happen. You have, bloopers throughout the process. I want people that are not afraid to let me know that something's gone wrong and that you're working on that.
That is correct. Communication is key throughout the process, and our whole team's philosophy is if a curveball happens, which they do happen,
right,
deliver the news up front. We have a much greater chance working as a team to get everything corrected if we all communicate early and up front. So instead of just burying our heads in the sand.
Not burying your head in the sand, but getting everything done up front. Also following up not only with the client, but the person, like throughout the whole process, what's going on? Where are we in the process? What are the problems? Or, even if somebody filed an application, where are we at in the application, that kind of thing. And another thing that you brought up on the break was technology. That's something that's big that you have to offer.
Technology is huge on all aspects. And we even have, we didn't even talk about this yesterday, we have a mobile app that you can put on your iPhone or your Samsung, where you can see where we are in the process with any of your clients, all the way from application through the second that loan funds, it pops up on your telephone throughout every step of the way.
Okay, wonderful. That's great to know. So the technology, so tell me about some of the technology. Is the technology a Fannie Mae based thing? You were mentioning that Fannie Mae created.
Well, actually, Fannie, the mortgage industry is finally getting caught up from a technological standpoint to improve the loan process.
Okay.
And so Fannie Mae rolled out a new thing called Day One Certainty, which we are so excited about. Most wage earners, companies go through these payroll service providers.
Okay.
And so we have the ability at the time of application to confirm their income and basically cross that off the list where we don't have to verify their income anymore, just on day one of the application.
Okay.
No more pay stubs, bank statement, or not pay stubs, tax returns, et cetera, for those folks that are on that system.
Okay, so you know that I spoke with you at length because, I just want to know what part of the process do you guys start doing things like documentation and verification of income?
So we do things early on in the process.
Good.
So it's because we're of the opinion that the letter that we provide to our clients and to provide to you to provide with offers is only as good as the signature on the bottom of the letter. So
right.
At the time of application, if somebody, let's say, is self-employed or commission-based, we collect all the documentation up front. We don't want to find out that there is something unusual on their tax return after you're in contract and lots of money has been spent on inspections and appraisals and the like. We want to fish all that out early on in the process.
Right. And from what I understand, the pre-approval process is a lot more stringent than it was back years ago. Like at the first of 2016, didn't things get more rough? Or after the 2008 crash, didn't things get more rough on how people could be pre-approved and approved for a mortgage?
They did post-2008. There used to be a lot of what were called low doc loans. So if somebody is self-employed, it was not worth the pain in the rear of getting all the documentation together. So clients would maybe pay an eighth of a point higher rate just to avoid all of that. So those loans have gone away.
Okay.
But with bringing back technology, there are new services out there that we utilize and tools where, for instance, I do everything online. I do have no bank statements coming to my house. So if a lender asks me for my bank statements, I'm like, geez, how do I do that? So we have new technology in place that we can do at the time of application where you can log in as a borrower and basically authorize your bank to give us specifically what bank statements, the IRS, what tax returns. You get to control it all. It gets electronically provided to us and only the things that you allow us to have. And that way we can avoid all the paper and pretty much go paper-free from the throughout the whole loan process.
That's a really wonderful process. I'm liking how they're getting, more high-tech with this. Okay, so what if someone is a first-time home buyer? What do they really need to get a home?
First of all, they need an awesome lender, and they need an awesome realtor.
They do. You need an awesome lender, and you need an awesome realtor. And you need – a lot of people, the first thing they say is, hey, I'm just going to go to my bank – and get a loan. I'm telling you, about 9 out of 10 people tell me that. And I'm like, okay, let's just stop right there. Because you do not want to go to your bank and get a loan. I just had a deal we did with Wells Fargo, and we're talking nightmarish because of the levels of crap. And they just are, why? Why are banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America, it's just harder to get a deal done. Why? Frustrating.
I think a lot of it has to do with the big box entities tend to have more of call center type folks versus experienced loan officers. Similar to some of the discount realtors out there don't provide the same service that you provide to your clients.
Right.
And there's more to it than just qualifying somebody, especially a first-time home buyer. It's scary. And they need their hands held. And they need somebody to tell them what the next step is long before that next step is happening. Otherwise, they're going to trip and they're going to be scared. They need somebody to hold their hand throughout the process, and that's what the advantage, again, of using you as a realtor versus a discount realtor and lenders like ourselves versus the big box banks.
Yeah, I think the local lenders are being paid commission. I think that they are also, their local reputation is at stake, that they want to get referrals from that particular agent, that they have a long-standing working relationship with that particular agent. There is a lot more on the line whenever you have a local lender versus someone who is at a faraway bank or a Quicken Loans or, Quicken Loans is not hasn't been bad. You had mentioned something. You probably don't want to say that on air, but you want people that have a skin in the game. Whereas if they're being paid hourly, regardless if your loan closes or not, then they're going to treat you a lot more differently.
Well, it's the difference between folks that are transactional based versus relationship based. We're we're relationship based, even if it means telling one of your buyers that now's not the time to buy a house. We're okay with that. You're okay with that because we're in it for the long term relationship and not just trying to close that one transaction.
Well, I want to say I like to get the deal done. If somebody comes to me and they want to buy a house, I like to find a way to get them a house. I don't like telling them, no, now's not the time. I have ways and means. If somebody wants a house, I'm not going to tell them now's not the time. I'm going to go, okay, how can we get this done? And yes, it might be a little more painful and it might take a lot more work and maybe they might have to pay an extra interest rate, but I want to help them get a house. You don't like that?
Well, sometimes people aren't ready to buy a house.
Well, if they've only been on their job for a month, then maybe not. But, if they have like a lower credit score, I prefer to get working on that credit score, maybe closing in 90 days, something like that.
And that's why it's really important for them to get hooked up with the lender early on in the process because we may be able, we're not credit counselors, but we may be able to give them some tips on how to get that score up so they will be ready in 90 days to buy that house that they're wanting to buy.
Right. And I work very closely with credit counselors. So if you think that you wouldn't qualify for a house, you would be very surprised. People can get houses, when your credit's not perfect. You just need to get hooked up and connected with someone like myself or Mark Raskin to get all set up. So here we are going to break, and we will be right back.
Shorty got them apple bottom jeans with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor.
Hi, Coach Gary inviting you to listen to Sports Talk Sunday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 1190. Now, you can hear us clearly on the iHeart app and click on 1190 Dallas-Fort Worth Talk Radio. I'm joined by Warren Shore. He's also known as the Whiz Kid. It's fun to get his opinion because he is a millennium. We also got Ben Martin. He's the glue to the show. He answers your phone calls at 214 or 817-787-1190. Make sure to join us every Sunday night, 6 to 7 on 1190, the station that knows talk.
Spearfishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearfishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearfishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
Walgreens has good news for everyone who uses Medicare Part B for diabetes testing supplies. We've got your back, or in this case, your test strips. Walgreens accepts Medicare assignment and full coverage supplemental insurance, so you'll pay as low as $0 out of pocket, which is the same as mail order. Pick up the medications you rely on and save on all major brands like One Touch and Walgreens True Metrics. That's not just good news, it's great news. Talk to your Walgreens pharmacist today. Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy.
Napa know-how.
Right now, Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil is on sale for just $4.29 a quart. Quality motor oil at an affordable price. A deal so good it practically sells itself. Which begs the question, what do we do with the rest of this commercial? Repeat the deal, I guess. Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil for just $4.29 a quart. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 10/31/17.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lung cancer to learn more.
I got this feeling.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to my show. I'm jamming out right now. Thank you, Zach. Hi, Zach. How's it going?
Hello, just got a bit of a flu, so I'm trying to keep it on the down low for now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and get well soon. Thank you for being here. He's here for me every single Sunday, and I love it. You guys, have you seen my hot pink signs? Oh my gosh. I have hot pink signs. And yesterday I did an open house and I used my little hot pink arrows and they are amazing. I guarantee people are like slowing down looking at my hot pink signs. Those hot pink signs are they're going to preach. They're going to go. They're going to roll. The momentum is coming. We're coming to your city. We're coming to your town with these hot pink open house signs. And I have hot pink signs. And, I really believe in my heart of hearts that hot pink is going to be synonymous with real estate in Dallas-Fort Worth, that you're going to be like, red? No, I love all realtors, and I think everybody deserves a lot of credit because I need everybody. But I think this pink has really got something going for it. I really do. So I have new signs. They are out. You can go to my Facebook page at jenna.ryan1 and see them. And I'm sure that my followers are probably like, okay, we've seen them. But I'm just telling my radio people now. Okay, I'm here today with Mark Raskin, and we're here with Stacey Jo of Stacey Photography and Mark Raskin with Prime Lending, and we're talking about loans today. Mark got in touch with me, and he was like, we've got to talk about Proposition 2. He is very into Proposition 2. Right, Mark?
I am very much into it, something we've been working on with the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association for 6 to 8 years going on now. So we are very excited about this and hope it's going to pass on Tuesday.
That's right. You're like president of the Texas Mortgage Bankers Association.
Correct.
How did you get that job?
Just wanted to get back to the industry, and it was a great way for me to, being a loan officer, I call myself a trench boy because I'm actually dealing with clients every day.
Okay.
To give back, and have been involved with the board for about 8 to 10 years, and they asked me to get on the ladder, and I've been very honored and blessed in taking on that role.
Okay, so what's the difference between a loan officer, a lender, a branch manager? What are all these differences?
Besides ego?
Yeah.
Well, lenders typically are the mortgage companies themselves, like Prime Lending is a lender.
Okay.
A loan officer or loan originator, somebody like myself. I'm also a branch manager in that I manage a team that includes sales as well as operations. On the front end of the process, not the back end that would include underwriting and closing, et cetera.
Okay.
So there are a lot of folks out there that are what are called producing branch managers, where they're loan officers and branch managers, and I wear both roles.
Okay.
Or both hats, I should say.
Okay. So a branch manager is managing the processing of what all's going on in the front end.
Correct.
Okay. Wonderful. And so a loan officer, is there a difference between what else is there? A loan officer, a branch manager?
Well, there's lots of other positions within the branch that are extraordinarily important, from loan processors to the loan setup. There's a lot of different functions that go on behind the scenes that you as a realtor and the consumers are not even aware of.
But I want to know about the people that are aware.
Yep.
Like only a loan officer?
No. Clients are dealing with not only loan officers.
What about a broker? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, so when the laws all changed about 4 or 5 years ago, it made it a lot more difficult for the brokers out there.
Okay.
And there are a few brokers still left in the community, but there are not a lot left in Texas. You see a few of them in California with the mega jumbo loans, but in Texas, there are just not a lot of brokers still out there.
Okay, well, so basically a broker is someone who takes your application and then brokers that loan out to many different investors.
Correct, but a lender can do the same thing. If one of your clients comes in and wants to apply for a loan, we have a plethora of investors out there that we are looking at, and to find the best match product for you with the best price and the easiest amount of paperwork to get you to that closing on time.
Okay, so you can do, as a loan officer, that's basically what you do too. So basically that's like a broker.
Yes, except a broker ends up not a loan officer works for a lender that actually funds the loan, whereas a broker does not.
Okay, so the broker is not going to be the one to fund the loan. Would you even want to work with a broker then?
I don't know how they operate still in Texas, but I'm sure that the ones that are still operating are running excellent shops and have excellent products available to them. But I like working for a lending company because we have more control over the process. If there's an issue, a last-minute curveball that comes out of left field, we can walk down the hall and talk to an underwriter versus having to get on the phone and call somebody in Nebraska or wherever.
Okay, what's the difference between Prime Lending and a bank, like a local bank?
So Prime Lending is a wholly owned subsidiary of a bank. We're a wholly owned sub of Plains Capital Bank, but because we are not a branch of the bank, we do have the ability to not only offer Plains Capital's products, but we can offer a plethora of other products, including Chase and Wells and Citi and the likes. So we do have the availability of finding these other products behind the scenes for our clients.
Okay, so whenever you get a loan coming in, you get an application coming in, everybody's different. Everybody's different, and everybody has different needs, and everybody is going to want something different. And so you get this loan, and let's say the credit is, a 600, and they're self-employed, and what do you do with that loan? Do you shop it around, or do you put it up against the templates you have for Fannie Mae? I mean, help me understand that back-end process. I don't even have the terminology all down. I'm not a lender. I'm a real estate broker, but I still have to know about all this wonderful stuff.
No, and it's a very, very good question. So, yes, there are a lot of tools in place for us to kind of filter it through different templates to see what the client may qualify for. But the initial step is to look at it and see why is a score at 600, because it might be something that is a very, very quick and easy fix for the client, whether it be paying down a $200 credit card or a previous charge-off from a few years ago. But there are many, many times we can even help them get to the score to open up to additional products than just the one or two that might initially come in at 600.
Let me ask you this. Are all the brokers and all the officers, are they all pretty much capable of selling the loan or funding the loan through the same people, the same lending institutions?
No, every lender is different on what investors that they have available behind the scenes. And, we, not to toot our own horn, but because of the volume of business, we're the number 4 purchase lender in the country, number 2 in Texas, number 1 in units in all of North Texas over the big box banks.
Okay.
Because of that, we have all kinds of investors from Wall Street to real estate investment trusts and the like over and above the traditional Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, et cetera. So
okay, so what happens is you get the loan and you look at all that you have to offer. Is there like a computer program you have to go through all of these?
We have tools, but it's not something that just automatically says, okay, Jenna needs to go on product Z.
Right.
It is something that requires extensive product knowledge and a lot of team huddles with my business partner and I. Many times if a client doesn't fit in the box,
right,
we'll both share it with each other to kind of figure out, because we both have our different expertise,
right,
and figure out which one is the right product for that client, because it's not just something that's an automatic.
Interesting. Now, if you're talking, that's more conventional, right?
Conventional or FHA or VA.
Well, I thought that, with FHA and Fannie Mae and all of these government-backed loans, I thought that there was a template that you have to abide by, their template.
There are guidelines.
Is that what we call it?
They're guidelines.
I don't like the word template either. I'm trying to find a better word.
Yeah, there are guidelines out there that every product has, and they all have their little nuances. Some do not make sense, some do. But
wait, so Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac,
yep,
those two, they have guidelines.
Yes, as does FHA, VA,
USDA.
USA.
Okay, that's too much for my brain. So
every jumbo investor.
I just want to understand something. Okay, so there you have, and then you have another layer of requirements from prime lending.
Not very much. We are pretty adamant that we follow just the investors' guidelines. We don't add what are called overlays on top of that.
Overlays. That was
That's
the word
it.
I wanted.
Yes.
Overlays. You don't add overlays on top. So you pretty much just use the guidelines of all of those.
Our head of operations, Christy, goes through every single month and looks at every single possible overlay.
Okay.
And if she can't prove why it must be there, it gets knocked out. So we have very, very few overlays on top of what Fannie or Freddie or the likes of.
Give me an example of an overlay mechanism.
So there's a lot of lenders out there. I'll give you an example. FHA allows to go down to 580 credit score.
Okay.
There are a lot of lenders that have overlays in place that if you're below 620 or 640, they may not even allow you to do the loan.
Okay. So Fannie Mae may say, yes, we will back this 580 credit score. But you may have an overlay that says, no, you have to have 600.
Well, Fannie only goes to 620, but yes, FHA does. FHA does.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, a lender may have overlays that they will not allow you to go below a certain amount.
Why? Why would that lender care?
Because they're of the concern that it is a higher risk, and lenders do not want to have too high of a risk out there with the loans that they're originating.
Why would there be a risk if they're just going to turn around and sell it?
Because there is a certain amount of recourse that does come back to lenders, even after they do sell it a week or a month later.
What kind of recourse? I never heard of that.
It all depends on the contracts that the lenders and our secondary groups negotiate with the various investors out there. But there are recourse loans that do go back to investors.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're telling me you take this loan and you sell it to investors.
Yep.
And then they can come back and get your butt, your commission.
Yeah. Well, get the lenders.
Yeah. So at the end of the day,
it indirectly affects all of us.
it doesn't make you look good. It's
No,
really,
we don't
really
want
bad.
any foreclosures.
So you want to
You
have a
don't want
lot
any
higher. No. So you want to have a higher standard, and that's why you put a higher overlay on certain aspects.
Yes. Now, we minimize our overlays because we do follow what the various investors require.
Right.
And so we don't believe in adding extra ones unless it's absolutely necessary. So we have very few overlays on top of what the investors are requiring.
I'm really interested in recourse. Does recourse mean they're going to get their money back?
The investor, whoever we sell the loan to?
Right.
Possibly, yes.
So they're going to come back to the lender and say,
They
give
can.
us $5,000 or give us $100,000 or give us $500,000.
They certainly can.
Oh, my word. Then it's very much in your interest to do a really good job. Do we have enough time to go into the do's and don'ts? Okay. So I want to know, I want my audience to know, what are some things they need to do? Once they get that loan application, they want to purchase a home, what should they do? And what should they not do?
First of all, get that loan application in early before they ever get in your car to start looking at homes.
Please.
Because the last thing you want to do is go show them their dream home of $200,000 and they only qualify for $190,000. No house is going to look good to them from now on, correct?
It's psychological. You know, if you go and you don't get someone pre-approved and then you find out, and it's not just that they can get approved at $400, because a lot of people don't want to go up to their max, and you really need them to understand, here's what your payment will be, here's what your comfort level is, because this just happened to me. If you happen to go in a little bit higher than they thought, then they're stuck on that house that they cannot afford and will never be able to get, and then everything just is a sad situation. And don't do that. You need to make sure that you go and figure out all the financials before you get in the car with me and meet me out at these beautiful homes. So you can keep your expectations in check.
Exactly. Otherwise, it's impossible to fix it.
What else is there?
So over-communicate is huge. If there's something you think a lender may or may not need.
Oh, we got to go on break. We'll be right back.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman kryptonite.
Hello, I'm Rusty Lozano, host of the Therapy Hour. Tune in every week as we bring you important topics in mental health as they coexist with chronic medical conditions like headaches, pain, and mood. Please join us at noon Sundays right here on Talk Radio 1190.
Why have over 3 million guys switched to Harry's razors? Because at Harry's, we give you less. We make just one razor with 5 German-engineered blades. Ding! All you need for a smooth and comfortable shave. And we got rid of upcharges. By owning the factory and cutting out the middleman, we're able to sell our high-quality blades for half the price of the other guys. Ka-ching! Now we're dropping the half-price sound effects guy.
Wait, why?
Not everyone can give you high quality for a fraction of the price. Harry's. One perfect razor. None of the extra noise. As a special offer for radio listeners, get an $18 shave set with an added bonus for free when you visit harrys.com and use code 1313 at checkout. Just cover a few bucks for shipping. That's harrys.com, code 1313 for a free shave set offer. Again, it's harrys.com, code 1313. Please note, no sound effects guys were harmed in the making of this radio recording.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor. Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
We're back. How's everybody doing? Thank you for listening to the show today. We really appreciate you. If you have any questions for Mark Raskin or for Miss Stacey, we got Stacey in the house. Yay. We got Stacey in the house today, Stacey Cleveland. She goes by Stacey Jo. So if you go to Stacey Jo on Facebook, you will see the happiest, biggest, most brightest smile you have ever seen in your entire life. Do it. Do that smile.
No.
Yes. Do it.
I did.
Do it. So she's my running buddy. We love to go out. She's my wing woman. And we love to go out and paint the town around Dallas and take
we
selfies.
like to do other things too.
We like to talk.
We have good talk sessions.
She's an amazing woman. She is a mother of 2, and and she's a Jesus freak. Jesus is my rock and roll.
No, Jesus is my rock, and that's how I roll.
Well,
Yeah.
we love that. We love, and she has a really good spiritual side.
Yeah, so do you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
We learn
talk.
from each other. We learn a lot from each other.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to tell the world, Stacey?
I want to tell the world that I love to take photos. And I would love to take more.
Yes. Yes. That is awesome. You do a great job. Now, don't you do like events? Like people pay her to actually show up at their events. So if you have a party and you want a pretty girl there, then you can.
Oh my God.
I'm embarrassing her.
I know you are.
Then you can contact her because she's like a ring girl. She was like on TV.
Okay.
Right? She's like,
we're talking photography.
I know, but it's all good. Okay,
It's
then
all
talk
good.
photography.
It's all good.
So what kind of camera do you use?
I use a Nikon. I'm a Nikon girl. Nikon D7100.
Wonderful. Now, I noticed on your camera, a lot of your shots, I love the way you do the fuzzy background where it's faded in the background and the person is really in the center of the shot.
That's a very popular. Everyone wants that look. Like if you bring the subject into the forefront, the only outcome is a fog background. So when I brought you to the forefront, you were the subject and the background was fogged, and that was your favorite.
It wasn't my favorite. I actually posted on Facebook. I posted 5 selfies.
And you had a little vote thing going on.
I had 5. Yes.
That's so good. That was cool.
I stuck 5 up there. One was the other photographer, and I put everything up there that I was thinking of. And everybody was like, that one. Everybody knew which one. Everybody told me which one. And so the vote, they rocked the vote. But then I had to put another one there. But yes, they all turned out so wonderful.
You did really good that day. I was so proud of you. By the last set, because I do sets, we don't stay current. We walk and we talk and we change up the background and we change up the scenery, and we just have like all kinds of fun. So the last set of yours, that's usually when I start taking photos of a person or a subject, the first frame is kind of like tense, and then the middle frame is more relaxed, and by the end, it's like on.
You're rocking and rolling. Yeah, we really felt good. And, I do a lot of walking up at Arbor Creek Park in Plano. I live right next to that. And so I'm telling you right now, you can't even walk 5 feet without a family. There's a family there, a family here, a family there. I'm like, I'm going to have Stacey come and take a picture of me.
I love taking pictures up there.
With my doggie, my new dog, a new puppy. You have to meet my puppy. And I'm going to have her take a photo of me in this beautiful scenery like all of these people are out here doing. Now, how much do you charge? Okay, a headshot's $250, but you're having a special right now. If they mention the show, you'll do it for $200, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Jenna Ryan's show.
And if you mention Jenna Ryan show, then you can get from Stacey Jo on Facebook, you can get your headshots for $200, which is penance for what you get. You get so much more. So, her prices are going up fast. What about a family photo?
Well, I'm easy. I charge one flat rate, regardless if you have 2 family members or 7, because it's a time frame issue. Like I can shoot anything, like as far as a family of 2 or a family of 12, in a 45-minute to an hour time frame. So you're buying an hour slot. So no matter what, you're getting the same amount, the same time, the same effort, regardless how many family members you have. If you want to bring your pets or props or anything, you're paying for that time slot, and that hour is $275.
$275 for 1 hour of your time. Come out and pick a place. It's really important that you get your family ready. Go and get the cute little outfits that match. And some of the people I see out there you have a question?
I do.
What's your question?
So, in doing family photos, how do you deal? There's always somebody. It could be a child, could be myself, could be my wife, could be the dog that does not want to be there.
Well, it's
always
typically
somebody.
The man.
How do you deal with it?
It's usually always the man of the household.
Okay.
Really?
I'm not going to agree or disagree with that, but okay.
Well, my job as a photographer is to lighten the load, is to make it a memorable experience, and so therefore it's all on me. It's not necessarily on the wife. It's not necessarily on anyone other than myself. And so I take it upon myself to make them like it. Yeah.
So you get them into the situation. You pull them in, and they end up loving it.
You have to, otherwise it's going to look. Thought comes through on camera. So if they're not enjoying themselves, they're not going to enjoy their photos. So my job is to have them enjoy their photos, so that enjoyment comes out, and still on frame.
Right.
And therefore, when they see their photos, they're proud. They're not
proud.
like, I wasn't feeling it that day. If their photos are flat and not telling a story, I didn't do my job.
Okay, so you take this personally, you take accountability for this. And you also, where are some of the neat places that people can go and take photos?
Oh, I like to do a location search prior to, like I do homework.
Okay.
Whatever the family's about. If they're more into the country setting, then it's my job to find a country setting. If they're more urban or more, artistic, or they're more sports oriented, I target what they're about. I do the homework first, and I give them like location choices.
Okay.
And then they pick.
Okay, so they get to go. And so you do like, I don't know, tractors and...
Yeah, I do everything.
Don't you want like some sort of like a background where there's some, some fence or some metal?
Yeah.
Like do you go to Deep Ellum?
Yes, I go to Deep Ellum, and I tend to not stay there long. I don't want, when you receive your photos, I don't want all your photos to pop up on your computer screen and they all look the same. So I change backgrounds and settings every 3 to 4 frames. And so you get more for your money, because when your pictures pop up on your camera or on your computer, everything's different. The colors are different. The scenery is different. The feel is different. The storytelling's different.
Okay, that's worth $275. I mean, because this is a picture, this is an image for the rest of your life that you're going to be able to frame, that you're going to be able to use. It might be your business. If you're your family is valuable, even though we have these cheap, pictures that we take, these selfies we take all the time. It's not the same as having a moment in time captured. So, photographers are very valuable, and I think that your rate is very reasonable, and everybody should be calling you and getting their pictures done. Don't you think?
That would be a great idea.
Okay, can we talk about other things for a minute?
What do you want to talk about?
Can we talk about your beautiful kids?
My kids?
Yeah.
Awesome.
She has beautiful kids. You have 2
awesome.
children.
I have 2 kids.
Chandler,
grown
kids.
Chandler Joe, and Connor Joe. Stacey Jo.
Yes. And she's got beautiful children, and her daughter is just absolutely gorgeous. And a sweetheart, too. I met her at your birthday the other night, and we had such a fun time. And also, you have friends. You have, like, this group of friends that you've had for ever. And that really speaks highly of you, that you have all these people. And they just treated me like one of the group, and we're just really sweet. And your sister's sweet, too. And I'm hoping your sister will come and join. Hi, Lindy. Are you still watching?
Lindy better be watching. Oh, yeah.
Yay, love you. Okay, Lindy, hopefully you will come and handle the Rockwall, segment of Jenna Ryan Realty, because I think you could rock that out, and we could get you on the show, and you can do a segment on Rockwall, what's going on Rockwall, and then people could start calling you.
She said yeah.
In fact, I got an offer on a house yesterday. Remember that house I showed you? It's going under contract right now today after this show. We're going to put that Rockwall house under contract. But I can't be driving to Flower Mound, Rockwall, all around town. I had something in Saginaw the other day. It's like, I would love to. However, she is the greatest photographer. However, I need different agents, so we need to bring more agents in. Hi, Mom. I haven't met you yet.
Oh, you had to
She is the best photographer ever. And what else would you like to say?
I would like to say I'm a fan of Jenna Ryan's.
Yay! She took my photo, the photo that is on my sign she took. And then today, after this, she's going to take some photos of me in my pink jacket, because pink is my color. And hopefully you and I both as well. And then he's getting a headshot. Mark's getting a headshot. I think you're going to get about 10 headshot clients just from this show. If you mention Jenna Ryan Realty or Jenna Ryan Show, then you can get it for $200. And then she will also come and do your family.
Yeah,
after
and
that.
let me say something about my photos just real quick.
Yeah.
So I shoot in RAW. So when I shoot, they're not actually an image just yet. It's not a JPEG yet. So I shoot in RAW, which means it's more or less just a raw negative.
Wow.
So I run home, and then when I process everything, at that point going through Photoshop, it turns into a JPEG.
Okay.
So at that, your image is complete. But I touch up, I enhance, I color fade, I black and white, I personalize, and I shoot and release. That's my motto as a photographer. I shoot and release. So what I shoot, you get. I don't need them on my computer.
Yeah,
you
that's
need
true.
them on yours.
You didn't give me that. Oh, you can only have 5.
No, I don't do that. Shoot and release.
She gave me all. Did you make me look skinnier? Is that why I like that photo?
No,
I was looking
that
at it
was
really
you,
close.
girl.
Did you?
No,
did you
I
did you
can't. No,
thin my
I don't do
nose?
that. I don't do that. No.
This light is not good for the nose.
No, this
it's
light
horrible
is
lighting.
So anyway, that's a big thing I wanted to sell today is that I shoot and release.
She
I don't
shoots
hold
and release.
on to your photos and expect you to pay me more. You pay me for my time, so you get everything that I shoot. You get.
Yeah, and you get this good feeling. Do you want to be with a photographer that has an attitude that's like an egomaniac? That I'm not saying people are like that, but I'm saying you want to make sure you're not with someone like that. And now you know you've met her on air, online. Now you know she makes you feel really comfortable, and so you can like go, oh, okay, I could be myself in this photo, and it shines through. The person that's taking the photo, like you should see, I've had photos. I look like this. It's because the person thought I was ugly, and it's obvious. I can tell. And if you have a beautiful spirit in you, then I've got 20 seconds. Call Stacey Jo. Bye, everybody. See you next week.